Soon used to mean now, but so many people said, yeah, I'll do it soon, and then failed to do it straight away, that the meaning had to change to in a little bit. Alright. I'm Rex Helltreader, and this is The Amazing Tongue. School and work. School's where you get sent so your parents are free to go to work. If it's a boarding school, it's where you get sent so your parents are free to pretend you never happened. Both will put you in good stead to have a life equal in meaning and impact to those of your parents. Should you realize this at any point, the following may seem relevant. In British English, we call it playing truant when you don't show up to school. Folks in the US call this playing hooky. This comes from the Dutch hide-and-go-seek game called hooky. Because when you grow up you'll still hate work, we also have the word skiving, and this comes from the French esquiver, to dodge. Please don't fill the comments with lazy stereotypes about the French being work-shy. They have a 35-hour working week, and you would too if you could. Anyway, they make up that time with union meetings, going on strike, and cycling around selling onions. And, because if you join the military you'll still hate work, we have the term AWOL, absent without leave. Yep, even traveling somewhere exotic to murder strangers is going to be unfulfilling. Who knew? To any under 18s, what are you doing? Don't you know I occasionally swear? Anyway, both adults and kids will be confused when they find out that school comes from the Greek word for leisure. I know, but in ancient Greece, learning was fun. There was no formal structure, every day was a field day, and the teacher could do and teach whatever they wanted. Which worked out pretty well, even though when one student called Hippasus proved that irrational numbers existed, they were drowned at sea. Well, neither system's perfect is what I'm trying to say. In any school, workplace, or other theatre of conflict, some things are constant. Scuttlebutt was the word for the kind of idle talk that would happen at the army's scuttlebutt wagon. That's the one that supplied the men with water. It's hundreds of years later, and we still talk shit at the fountains and water coolers. But I think what word people find more interesting is basic stuff. Like that pen and pencil have nothing to do with each other etymologically. Pen means feather, and that's why penne pasta looks kind of like quills, and pencil comes from the Latin for penis. Not kidding. It means little tail, which was the slang for, you know, a gentleman's intimate wangpipe. It's also present in the word penicillin, which under the microscope looks like it's got a little tail. Anyway, if your employer finds you skiving off once too often, or ever discovers that you know that your job is bullshit, they might decide to fire you. Fired, to mean employment terminated, comes from when an undesirable person's home would literally be set on fire. If they survived, they'd be driven from the land. A bit like if you're fired now, you might needlessly be treated like a thug and escorted off the premises to make sure you don't punch it on the way out. Being let go comes in two flavors. You can be terminated without prejudice, meaning you might get rehired at some point, or you can be terminated with prejudice, meaning they're still angry about that turd on the conference table thing. The CIA have people who work for them for a bit and then read literally any of the history of the CIA, and just like the rest of us, might become, shall we say, a little disillusioned with the agency. They might be terminated with extreme prejudice, which is just a bit of gallows humor. Well, a bit of car crash made to look like an accident humor, really. I'm Rex Helltreader, and this is The Amazing Tongue.